In tonight's episode of Coronation Street, viewers saw Sally Ann Matthews' final appearance as Jenny jetted off to pastures new. Over the past decade, she's become a Weatherfield icon and a friend of the podcast as well, and has joined us for a few chats along the way. But she's here today. Sally Ann, welcome back to the podcast.
Hi. Look, when I'm
Hello.
just
You've
made
gone.
myself a
Sal,
coffee.
you've
Look,
gone.
look.
How are you feeling your last episode's aired?
Can you see?
You got your Connor mug?
Yeah.
Thanks for
My
bringing
Jenny
that.
Connor, because somebody nicked my Jenny Bradley mug.
Oh, we'll have to get another
So
one
I've
run
only
up
got
for
my
you.
Jenny Connor mug. I'm just having a brew.
Well, we need to get you a Bradley one now, don't we? Because you were
The Bradley
credited
one was
as
brilliant.
Jenny Bradley.
It was this ginger's not for snapping.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
somebody nicked it.
How dare
I'm
they?
thinking Charlie DeMello. I think he was going for a set. I'm
Do you
gonna
reckon? Do
blame
you
him.
reckon? But
Yeah.
listen, Sal, how are you feeling now your final episode has aired?
Phew. Like,
Yeah.
yay! All gone, all done, and it was fine. I mean, it was a lovely ep. Debbie Oates wrote the script,
hmm
and she wrote it absolutely beautifully. So I loved doing it. She wrote a play that you came to see that I did at
Yes.
Hope Mill. So when I found out that Debbie had got it, I was chuffed to bits. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, because I've just whizzed through it myself, and fun fact, when she walks into the Rovers.
Yeah.
And Bonnie Tyler started to play, and Jenny was looking around. What I was acting, because what was supposed to happen was you were going to see Bette Gilroy.
Really?
Yeah. And she was going to
Ah.
talk. So, and they had it from like the words she was saying and from what episode it was from whenever. Um, but for whatever reason, they obviously, when it came to the edit, they didn't feel it worked as
Yeah.
well. Um, so I've been
Okay.
telling a lot of
Okay.
things I've been doing. I've been going, yeah, and then Jenny sees Bet, and she doesn't.
Ah, that would have been great. That would have been great. Maybe
There must have been a
director's
reason
cut.
why it.
Put it out online.
Yeah, it must have been. They must have felt it worked better with Barbara. So
Yeah, it did.
yeah.
It worked really well. Listen, people want to know when the news broke that you were leaving Corrie, it was a big shock to a lot of fans. What can you tell me about the decision to leave?
Not a lot really. Jenny's been through so much, and the last 18 months particularly, I think she's been treading water.
Hmm.
Um, I think after Charlie decided she was going to leave, that kind of shifted our story with the Carla's money and the pub. They kind of went, oh well, we'll save that and we'll use that for Charlie's
Hmm.
exit. So as a result, we were really quiet for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And then we that kind of story came out a little bit, and then Charlie's exit. And I was when you work on something like this that's can be and often is 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, who you work with is so important.
Hmm.
And I loved working with Richard. I mean, my God, who played Johnny.
Yeah.
Um, he made me laugh.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
I mean, you were laughing at him, bless him, because he was just funny. You didn't even realize. But we'd built up such a lovely relationship. And then with Charlie, it was just an
Hmm.
absolute joy, as it is with Barbara.
Hmm.
So when I knew she was going, I was kind of like, do I want to stay? Do I not? Because by then, Jenny, she'd lost the love of her life every October for 3 years on the trot. There was only so many times. I mean, it was ridiculous. There's only so many times you can fall in love with somebody and then cry at their death because it's like, "Ah, just another one gone fine." So I was kind of contemplating it last year,
Right.
leaving. But then, as I say, Charlie said she was leaving, and I wanted to stay for her exit, and our contracts didn't quite line up in the same way.
Hmm.
Um, and then I was told I was going in the cabin.
Yes.
I thought, well, actually, this is great. This is feels like a whole new chapter. She wouldn't have to have a new man because it's just the idea of starting up that new relationship with
Hmm.
somebody.
Hmm.
Um, and as I will be with Gunny and with Barbara, but unfortunately, in our you know, custom built studio space, there was no room for the cabin. They couldn't actually get it in.
Well, it's been nice to see it a little bit more over the past
A
month or
little
so.
bit,
Yeah.
a
Even the
little bit.
back room
Great
you
for
were in
me.
today, back room of the cabin with that little table there. We never see that.
No, in fact, I
Forgot
think
it was there.
I did one of my first scenes back. I think it was when Jenny went to Blackpool with Johnny.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, Jenny and Rita had a heart to heart over that same little table. Yeah, that very rarely sees the light of day.
Yeah.
Um, so no, it's just time. And we moved to this house just before I went back after Jenny's breakdown.
Hmm.
Um, so this is the first time I'm actually spending any time in my house. It is it is just a joy to be at home.
Yeah, must be, yeah, it
It
must
really
be.
is.
So no axe swung then, Sal.
Oh no, it was definitely conversations.
Mm,
Definitely conversations. They didn't what they had for me then wasn't going to happen because they didn't have space for it.
mm,
And then it went to conference and there was just nothing new and exciting coming out of it. So um Jenny's on her own. She's
yeah.
You're not going to be telling stories between with Jenny and Rita. That's not going to be Rita's not going to be not going to be turning into a serial killer or
No.
whatever, which are the mainstays of stories now.
Mm,
So
mm,
you're not going to be telling stories anymore of
no.
people having a cup of tea and some strawberry bonbons, sadly.
Yeah. You said that part of the timing was revolving around Charlotte Jordan's exit as well. Was there ever, was it ever mooted that you two characters would go off together?
No, I think again, because Charlie's exit kind of changed as well because of Lucy being pregnant.
Right.
So when they're honest, so it's very difficult for them as well when everyone's contracts is at different times,
Mm,
um, and then life events come up. So I think they kind of get this idea for a story, and they're going, "Oh yeah, we're going to do that," and then something goes horribly wrong. Either someone's ill, or yeah, someone leaves, or someone goes off
mm.
on maternity leave, or someone announces that they want to leave, and they go, "Well, we can't." Then do that story with them because it was going to lead on to this. So putting all the pieces in place is quite tricky. So I think initially Charlie's story was going to involve um, be more love triangle.
Okay, okay.
I think with Daniel and Bethany.
Yeah, yeah. I was watching her exit scenes again the other day, actually, and it was a bit of a shame
I've
that
never
she.
watched them.
Have you
I've
not?
never, no.
Brilliant. They're great.
You
They,
kind of
they,
go, oh, I mean, I love doing them. When you love doing something, you kind of go, I don't know whether I want to watch it.
yeah, yeah.
This one I
They-
kind of thought I had to because thought I should because I knew I
yeah.
was going to you, and I did it in July, as you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really remember what happened. And Pat was going, where did she go? Did she go to?
It's a bit of a shame that Daisy and Jenny didn't part on better terms, though. It'd be nice to think that, they're gonna get back together and be mates again at some point in the future off
Yeah,
screen.
yeah, it is. But equally, it was great. It was a great story to play.
Yeah, I really
Um,
enjoyed it.
yeah. Uh, I mean, she's brilliant.
Hmm.
We see each other, well, we see each other a lot of each other now, usually on FaceTime because one of us or the other one is reading in for the other one for auditions because it's all
Yeah,
these self-tape things now.
yeah, yeah, of course. I bet back to all that again.
Yeah,
Do
well,
you,
I know because I never did it. They didn't exist when I went into
I
Corrie
know, I
11
guess
years ago.
not.
So I've never done them. So she's been giving me lots of tips, and then she sends me things on Amazon links, and she goes, "Right, you're going to buy that. You need to buy." And I've been practicing by doing my Instagram sourdough baking. That's why I keep
Yeah,
making videos so I can edit them, so I can remember and set it up and the
I was going to
lighting.
ask all about that. There's just been bread on your socials the last month or so.
It's been great, but it
Yeah.
becomes completely. I'm surprised Gemma's not got a starter going.
Oh, I know, I know. Well, she
But
she
you know
does.
the amount of people that named them. We've got a Mavis, uh, oh, a Mavis, a Derek,
Yeah.
uh, a Vera. We've got there's so many people that named their starter this, and I get so many pictures of. It used to be a case where you didn't want to open pictures on Instagram that were sent to you in messages. There's been some dodgy pictures there, let me tell you.
I
But
bet.
no, it's all just people's bread, and it's great. And it just becomes completely addictive, not only to eat, but just to make. And yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Going back to Daisy. Do you think that Jenny deserved what Daisy did to her, abandoning her at the end?
no,
Good.
I think Jenny's been much maligned throughout this whole thing, to be honest with you. Um, the whole situation was Daisy's doing and Daisy's idea. And
Yeah.
if Carla had just been nicer and lent her the money, then Jenny would never have taken it in the first place.
Yeah. And it was definitely, yeah, it was Jay-Z's idea to take that to
Yep.
use Stephen's money or Carla's money to buy the pub, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
Carla was a bit of a cow, so Jenny went, "Mm, all right then."
Yeah, totally innocent in this, isn't she, Jenny?
She's very easily led.
Something I was really, really happy about with Daisy this year, something else was when it was revealed that Jenny partially blamed her for Tom's death, which is, I'd been talking to you about this for years, hadn't I?
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
your reaction to seeing that pop up in the script?
Well, initially they'd written that, but then they had Jenny completely row back on what she said.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I said, why? Why are you going to row back on it? And they do this thing all the time about wanting to protect characters so that people, you know what you're like when you suddenly decide you don't like someone
I
because someone's
know, I
very
know.
nice. But it was about protecting Jenny, and I said, but they can both be. She can be really horrible to Daisy and
Mm,
say it, and it be the truth, and that she has blamed Daisy doesn't mean for 1 second that she doesn't love her.
no, no.
Um, so I did kind of push for it to be for her not to row back on it.
We got to find about a little bit more about the past. There was a couple of episodes, wasn't there? Your ex-husband Greg got a name after all these years.
Yeah, that was that again for story reasons. The way I think it was all to do with junk mail, wasn't it? But originally it
Yeah,
was
that's
going
it.
to be addressed to Jay Connor, who
Mm.
lived because Johnny rented a flat in the where
In Maudsley Street, wasn't it?
Where Mick lived.
Yes.
So it was going to be that way. So then for various reasons, sometimes stories just can't happen in those ways.
Mm, mm,
So it
mm.
had to change, and just that Jenny's got all this junk mail and conveniently finds this money. And yeah, that's when we find out he was called Greg. Who knew?
He's been Mr. Midgley on Corripedia since I don't know how long.
Yeah, since Jenny nicked the baby,
Yeah,
since Jack.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Oh, those were the days. But dangling babies off balconies.
yeah, I'd like to think she's grown a little since then.
Hope
Not
so,
much.
hope so. Although somebody, well, with the behaviour she's been showing with her and Christina, they've been had a little bit like kids, haven't they?
Oh, I
I've
love
loved
that.
Christina. Tell me about working opposite Amy Robbins.
Oh, she's been great fun. Obviously, because it's been when she first came in, it was just her, it was more her and
Yeah,
Daisy
yeah,
and
yeah.
that relationship. But the sparring between me and Amy has been great. And the scenes in tonight's ep, we had a couple of them, and
Mm.
it yeah, I love doing all of that. And Amy's just such fun to work with as well. And it's been really nice working with Tony Morsley as well,
Yeah.
George. That's been really nice to do. Um, so yeah, I know people have said, because I've seen it already today on Twitter, people go, no, she should have had a bigger exit. And I
I
loved Jenny's
yeah,
exit.
I was going to ask because it did feel a little bit low key, but that's what you wanted, right?
Yeah, yeah, completely. And it's also, they don't do exit stories anymore
Mm.
unless you're going to die. Um, no, all the audience research apparently, so I've been told, is that if they know that a character is leaving the audience, then they don't invest in the storyline. So
Yeah,
unless they're going to kill you, you don't get one because they just go, oh, well, we know she's leaving, blah blah blah, on to the
yeah,
next.
yeah.
So that's why pretty much everybody, I think it said, was the same with Shelley. It was pretty much the same with Sue. Sue got a storyline because Julie came back and was
Right.
dying. But
Mm.
ultimately, the thing of just starting again in pastures new, it's like everyone emigrates within
I
24 hours,
do.
and
Yeah.
I think I emigrated within about an hour.
I know it was very quick. She packs light
Yeah,
somehow, does Jenny?
yeah, yeah. Shouldn't need a lot.
Which was your final scene to film?
Uh, um, it was not any of those. It was one in the Rovers. Was it? Were we? I'd come in and then Rita got a phone call from Rita.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I
I
got a phone call
remember.
to say she'd fallen over or something, or she'd hurt
That's it.
herself.
Yeah, during the speed dating night. What was that? What was that like to film when it was finally, cut was
Oh,
called and it was
well,
over?
I said, please, I don't want a fuss. So what happens when somebody leaves is everybody kind of gets the nod that it's going to be happening, and everybody from the building comes down onto the floor, and so you're made to wait for ages, and it's dead obvious what's happening.
Yeah.
And then everyone goes, well, that's a wrap on Sally Ann. And then Kate came in to do a speech, and I said to Kate, I said, I don't want any of that, please don't be doing that to me. And she said, and I said, no, 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 I'd rather just go. And I was dreading it. I was out because I don't like, I said this to somebody the other day. I don't like being the center of attention, which is bizarre that I'm in this job. Um, but so Kate said, well, I am going to come down and embarrass you. So, oh, geez, I'm going to have to do it. So I pretended that I'd legged it.
Love it.
And all you can hear on the video is Tanisha going, oh, she's backdoored it. Everybody literally did think I'd run off, and Ali King and Sally Diniver were running around the studio trying to find me, and I'd literally hidden behind the Rovers and then came out. But
Uh,
just to take the sting out of it, because I
yeah.
no, it was a lot.
Mm,
And then I didn't want to leave him, do because I think we'd had our summer party, then we had Jack's wedding,
yeah.
but we had quite a few people leaving as well. So there'd just been party after party, and no, we don't need that.
In your last episode,
But then I saw
Jen,
you. I saw
yes,
you
you saw
then.
me, you saw us. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
later that day. We knew.
that was.
We had a lovely
You
little
did
meet
know.
up. That was the highlight of your day, wasn't it, Sal? Come on.
It was lovely, and with the girls as well who didn't
Yeah.
know. So that was really nice.
Yeah, yeah. In the last episode, Jenny dumps the big Rovers plaque, the Jennifer Connor
Oh
intoxicating
yeah,
liquors plaque. What's happened to that? Have you kept it?
it's in my cabin.
Is it good? I'm glad to hear
Garden. Yes, it's actually not that impressive. It's really thin,
it.
bit bendy. It's all the kind of smoke and mirrors. But no, I have got it, and it is in the because Adam Blee said to me, he said, "You better take something," and I went, "Oh, all right."
Yeah,
Took
yeah, for
Jenny's
sure.
apron as well, but I just because I like that apron, and I took that sign because he
Mm.
said if you don't, then he said at least take it and give it to me if you don't want it. So.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, how did you feel about how things were left between Jenny and Rita in the final scenes?
Oh. They were just really lovely, and I love that about Barbara. I mean, it's also Barbara is as fiercely independent as Rita is.
Hmm.
She doesn't want anybody to be fussing over or looking after her. So that whole thing of it was knowing that Rita's going to be there's people on the street to take care of her and look after her. That would mean that Jenny could happily go off. And well, it's a very small place. I mean, Rita might be able to use FaceTime. Barbara absolutely can't. So she hasn't even got a mobile. So yeah, so I'm sure that they would be having long video calls to each other from
Well, I
Spain and that.
mean,
And I'm
Rita's
sure, I
been.
bet you're going to see that Gunny will be in the cabin. He'll be, where's Rita? Oh, she's gone off to see Jenny in Tenerife.
Well, it makes a change from Cartmel, doesn't it? Which is where
Well,
Rita's been going off to for the past 25 years.
yeah, exactly. She can go to sunnier climes now.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite.
What was Barbara's reaction when you told her that you were going?
She what was what was Barbara's reaction? Well, somebody else had told her before I got a chance to tell her
Oh.
because I'd not seen her. So I got a phone call from her and she went, why are you going? And then she went, oh, Sally, I don't blame you. No, you're going to go off and do this, which is exactly what she said to me last time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we took her out for dinner, my husband and I, and Brooke. The
Oh,
four of us
really?
went for dinner, which was really lovely.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. So last time, Sal, you were on this show, it was 4 years ago. So it wasn't long after all the drama with the sinkhole and losing Johnny. So let's talk about some of the stuff that's been
Oh, was
going on
it?
in between. It's been
Oh.
ages, hasn't it? Although one of the first
I've
times
lost
that
to
you
Beyonce and a lover since then.
you've done what? Oh
I've
yeah,
lost to
Beyonce lost
Beyonce
them
and a
all.
lover.
Yeah. You were also back in the day. You were on episode 200, and now you're on episode 700. So I think that's quite neat,
Oh,
isn't
wow.
it? Yeah, I know it's good, isn't it? Anyway, one of the biggest stories that's happened in the intervening years was this relationship with a lovely, boring Leo and Stephen Reed, serial killer gate. What was your take on being part of that? What's your reflections on being part of Corrie's latest serial killer drama?
I think originally, I don't think I knew. And again, that story completely changed from what it was going to be to what it ended up being.
You know all the
Uh,
secrets.
I know. I got told it was going to be something in January, and we didn't film it till the following August. And by that point, it had completely changed.
Wow.
Um, and with Joe, who played Leo, bless him, he didn't know he thought he was just coming in for 2 episodes.
Yeah, yeah, because he was just in the sinkhole
Yeah,
episodes, wasn't he? And
he had
then
no idea he was supposed to be in a relationship with me, and they didn't hadn't booked him. And I was trying to get his attention on Twitter without looking too obvious. And in the end, he did follow me, so I could message him and go, "Ah, finally." Let's see if he can try and get a relationship going with somebody. As I say, it's because it's so quick.
yeah.
Corey, as you know, you've seen it. You
Mm.
have no time to establish relationships, so a lot of it you have to do yourself beforehand. So I did that with Joe. Um, but yeah, he bless him, he didn't know at all. And then I think the location of where we were going off to kept changing because I think I'd been told again we were going off to Australia. And then I
Ah.
got scripts and Ali Mardell was going off to Australia. So I said, surely we're not going to Australia as well. Oh no, you're going to Canada. All right, okay. And for them trying to write a story arc is it can be quite tricky just for,
Yeah.
as I said, people suddenly go, I'd like to leave, please. And then they go, oh, well, will you stay for a few months? And they make you stay for this has happened a lot. They kind of ask you to stay and you stay for a few months, but you don't actually work.
Mm.
They just delay in that story
Yeah.
till then.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me what Todd Boyce was like to work with.
Oh, Todd. That man, this is a hard job. Nobody in the 11 years that I've been has ever worked harder than Todd Boyce.
Ah. He is a
He
really
worked
top bloke, isn't he? He's
He
lovely.
is, I mean, I was in a lot of episodes, but I might have like 2 or 3 scenes in those eps. He'd have like 6, 7, 8 scenes in an
Yeah.
ep. So he was working a lot harder than I was, and just a
Mm.
lot harder than anybody else was. And he never moaned once. And he's funny.
Yeah.
He's so funny, and he's so good. And there were loads of things, particularly when he had me hostage in the Rovers things and we were doing that. I'm not a very physical actress. um I mean I am, but that completely by accident because I've got no idea what I'm doing. um, so he was really good at doing the kind of stage choreography, and I think it's one of those things, if you go to hit somebody, I will really hit them. I'm not I'm not very good at stopping. So yeah, Todd, blessing me, had a lot to put up with me. But no, we loved working together.
Mm.
And I mean, he said to me several times, I'd really love to work with you in the future. Especially when um I messaged to tell him and I said, well, you might get your wish because I'm leaving. No, you never know. What's this space?
Yeah, yeah. Do you think that Jenny was really in love with Stephen or Leo, or was she just trying to like fill the hole that Johnny left?
I think Johnny was the love of her life,
Mm.
but she couldn't live with him any longer because he'd done too many things to her. Um and Yeah, I think she did really love Leo. But she got over him quick.
Yeah.
She got over it.
That line where Daisy says to Jenny, he was a bit boring though. I love it. It's so funny.
I know, I remember you loving that line. But it is, I mean, again, it's quite tricky for me as well, because for me, when you come into something, you're showing your screen love. That was obviously Richard,
Yeah.
me. But then you think about it in reality, Jenny's lost her mum, her dad, her son, her stepson, her husband, her fiance, her lover. Uh, who else has she lost? Oh, then and I mean you've got countless friends on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, her stepdaughter's wife to be on the wedding day. I mean, just like death and destruction all over the place.
It's a bit.
She wouldn't be in reality, she wouldn't be getting out of bed.
No.
So, when people go, it's not real life, you go, no, it sure isn't, because I wouldn't want to be that person if it was.
No, it's a surprise it's taken us so long to get away from Weatherfield, to be honest. Hopefully
Yeah,
she'll be able to put her feet up now.
yeah. No, a much better time of it.
Yeah. Tell me about talk to me about being the Rovers landlady. So 7 years, I think, was it that you were behind the bar there?
I've got no idea.
I think it
But
roughly was, but it's a pretty good innings.
was it
Whether it's
17 or 18? I don't know when it
I
was.
can't remember. I can't remember. But are you proud of what you achieved in the role? Because Rovers landlady is a pretty prestigious position, isn't it?
For me, it was not on my radar. It was not. I've known actresses in the past who were like, I want to be that. I want to be Rover's landlady. It was never on my radar. So I remember when Kate Oates brought me upstairs to tell me, I was like, oh, oh. And then you kind of go, everyone's going to be, you feel a real pressure.
Mm.
Um, and I think it coincided with the one thing when you're in the Rovers, you can have some really long days,
Yeah, yeah, I bet.
really long days. Um, so you do a lot of, you do, which I taught Charlie and Jodie as well, that you'd be in the bar and you'd be chatting to someone, and then you go, and you'll do that as if something's caught your attention. I've left the oven on, the phone's ringing, just to get you out so you don't have to be in the back of shot all the time.
Uh,
Um, and the Rovers, I think, became more about a meeting space where it wasn't about the Rovers, and you've got three different story strands. You've got one next to the jukebox, you've got one in a booth, and you've got one down by the fireplace. It's nothing to do with the Rovers or who's
mm.
in there. Sometimes they don't even bother having anybody serving. And they just shoot around it so you don't see it. It's just because, yeah.
You had a good
Well,
team there, though, didn't you? I love the addition of Glenda to the Rovers. She must have been Jodie Prenger must have been a lot of fun to work with.
we had a great time, and again, for Jodie coming in, for me and Charlie, I said we're going to have to really make an effort and go out of our way to include Jodie, because not only do Sally Ann and Charlie get on so well, but Daisy and Jenny work so well.
Mm.
So to have a third person in the mix, I would feel quite, daunted at that prospect. But no, Jodie fitted in perfectly,
Yeah,
and
I love
she's
her.
great fun.
Yeah,
Great. She's terrible though, because she always brings in sweets.
does she?
I love sweets. Always going dirty,
You
stop it.
you've been eating sweets in almost every scene you've been in. What's the
And then,
story with that?
well, I did that when I was in the Rovers. Oh gosh, way back when. Oh, which incarnation was it? I can't remember whether it was. I can't remember whether it was when I came back in '93 with the dog.
I can't remember.
Every
It might
scene,
have been.
every scene in the Rovers, then I would help myself to some sweets. So I just thought I'd do the same thing, and then it became obviously, because as well, there were a few things that were in date, but a lot of them were out of date in 2011 in there. So the art department then were buying particularly those licorice wheels, because I love licorice,
Yeah.
those licorice wheels. So it kind of just then became a thing. I'd get a message from production saying, "What sweets do you want this week?" And I'd go, "Oh, strawberry laces, please." Yeah.
Brilliant. I love it. I love
Anyway,
it. So thinking back over the past 10 years that you've been in the show again, even including the original stint, if you like, what have been some of your favorite moments working on Corrie?
uh, I loved being a lot. I mean, I love the sinkhole. I think I've talked about that a million
Mm.
times over. Um, One ep I really did enjoy was the acid attack
Oh yes,
ep.
yes, yes.
Even though I was not central to, obviously, it was Charlie. Um, it was just a brilliantly cohesive ep. So I really loved that. And I
Mm.
really liked the little scene that we had. But Rob and I were really naughty in that ep as well, because we couldn't look at each other. I think Sarah comes out. What's Sarah
Mm.
called? Character.
Alia.
Alia. She comes out of Ryan's room and says he wants to see you, and then Daisy follows her in. And then Rob and I we just both went, what do we know? Because we did it, we looked at each other and sighed at the same time. Well, we just kept laughing. It was awful, awful, this traumatic, serious moment. Everyone's been on, really long shoot days, and Rob and I just were going, ah. So you have a
Uh,
lot of laughs. But that, I think, was a great ep. I loved the Blackpool, where we
Yeah,
did get to Blackpool, the 10,000th one. That was a
yeah,
great ep. Uh, I loved kidnapping, not kidnapping, but holding Tracy hostage in Underworld.
yeah, loved it.
Uh, I've loved all the stuff I've done with Ali. They never really gave us a look, but Carla and Jenny had a really lovely relationship, and it's a shame that that was never revisited after the
Mm.
money, either to be um, at war or to have not have had a minute at the end. But I think Ali was on holiday. I think can't
Oh,
remember.
okay.
I think there was holiday around that time as well. So
Yeah.
even them, either for them to have made some kind of amends at the end, but you can't fit it all in. There's
No, I know, I know. Well, I'm just glad that Jenny and Rita did because I saw in the synopsis for the episode beforehand, like Rita gets annoyed when she finds out that Jenny's used her fall to try and get hold of George. I was like, oh, don't let Jenny and Rita part on bad terms, please. But at least we didn't get that because she had that
yeah,
with Bet, didn't she? When Bet left, she was still
and I
at
think
loggerheads
uh
with Rita.
yeah, and I think time the oh was it the second time I left, Jenny and Rita were at loggerheads.
Yeah, 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 that's right. Because you asked for the money, didn't you? £30,000 or whatever it was from Rita. She
Yes,
told you to sling your hook.
investment. Rita was a fool not to do it.
Is there anyone else that you really, really enjoyed working with that we haven't mentioned so far today?
Who are you who when it just before lockdown, that week before lockdown hit, people were dropping like flies.
Hmm.
And so you were getting scripts at, oh, hello. Sorry, one
Oh,
second.
we
Come
got a
here.
canine visitor.
We have, come on, been out for a walk.
Hey, it's Vito on screen. Oh, the audio only listeners are missing out here. We got a dog on the screen.
You've come back from a walk, haven't you? Get down then. Um, what was I saying before I was rudely
Uh,
interrupted?
people were COVID just before
Oh yes,
COVID.
dropping like flies.
That's
So
it.
we were getting scripts at 10:30 at night to shoot the next day. And I was several different people that week, but it was great. It was like you walk into the green room, you didn't know who you were going to find, who was there. And I had quite a few scenes with Chris Gascoigne,
Oh yeah.
which I would never have had other than just, serving him a drink in the pub. And
Mm.
that was really nice to have scenes with Chris. Who else? I mean, do you know where I've never ever been? And I have to say I'm quite glad because from what I understand, the set's a nightmare. Is Speed Doll.
You never had anything there. Wow.
I managed to dodge it. Yeah. Never
Yeah.
had a scene in Speed Doll. I think I've
Ah.
been I think I've been everywhere else. I don't think I've been in Billy's flat, but I actually did Charlie's screen test in Billy's flat.
Oh,
That's where it took
interesting.
place.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, not being in Speed Doll. How random.
He's just gonna have to come back now, Sal, so that you can get in there. So, got to get the
Oh, I
full
don't know
house.
about that. I don't know about that. I'm enjoying being at home too much.
So even if you might not be coming back, let's say we've reached the end of Jenny's arc. How do you feel about the way the character has grown from the 80s to now?
I think she's actually not got a great deal of growth, and I quite
Do
like
you not?
I, yeah, she's essentially she kind of came full circle in a way. She moved
She
back
did a
up
little
with
bit.
her mum, um, and worked in the shop that she first started at. So
Yeah.
I don't know whether she did grow that much.
So I mean, Corrie without Jenny is going to be massive. You're going to leave a huge hole in the show. But we've also
Yeah,
got some other big changes coming up to Corrie as well. We've got the new Rovers owners, who we won't say anything about now, no spoilers. And also we've got the switch to the 5 half-hour episodes in
yeah.
January. How do you see that scheduling change affecting the program?
I think it can only be for the good.
Hmm.
And there was also I know it's one ep, but it's not. It's two eps.
Yeah, yeah,
So characters had to be in both of those eps
yeah.
as well for various transmission reasons.
Okay.
Um, so when it goes to the half hours every day, theoretically, because I think it might even be less now, but I think it might be 19 or 18 characters per ep. So you could theoretically have 18 characters in Mondays, completely different 18 in
Yeah.
Tuesdays. They won't, but they've now got a bit more freedom to have people in. So
Okay.
there should be big gaps.
That'd be good.
So I think that can only be better. I think this format will work better for the
Good.
genre.
Good.
And then I just wish we would just embrace our USP, which is that it's a soap.
Oh, 100%. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. So
So,
what are you looking forward to now that you've left? What are your career plans, or are you just going to be baking bread for the time being?
well, for the time being, certainly I am. Uh, I've had a really lovely audition for
Oh,
a new drama.
have you indeed?
Yeah. So that's again, this whole thing is all very new. Um, I've done, well, I suppose I can tell you, can't I? Because I did Celebrity Mastermind.
Yes, I heard this. What's your
And
specialist subject, Sal?
I can't tell you. I'm not allowed to
Ah,
tell you what that is.
but we
Um,
can at least look forward to seeing you on that then. Okay.
yeah, I mean, I don't do anything like that. But I did it for a particular charity. So
Right.
that's why I agreed to do it. Um, so uh, so I've been busy enough, but yeah, we went on holiday. All six of us went on holiday together. That's the
Hmm.
first time in God knows how long.
Yeah.
So that was really nice to do it because obviously I used to have to book my holidays so far in advance.
Yeah, of course.
And because my husband's self-employed as well, we never knew when the other one might be getting something. And so we finally, with the boys and their girlfriends, we all went away together. So that was what a change that was.
Yeah.
Um, right now, I just want to be at home,
Yeah.
um, be home based for a bit. I
Mm.
think I've earned a break as well.
I think you have. I think you have. You've been working pretty hard this past decade, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I think there was a time up until 18 months ago, I hadn't, apart from Christmas when I did get 2 weeks, but other than that, I didn't get a 2 week break after that. I'd get like, there was sometimes I was always in a block. So there's always something. And I think when you stop as well, because it's such a machine, even if you're not in, you're still getting the emails,
Mm.
the constant, we've sent you amendments, there's an amended daily call sheet, there's a this, there's a that, da, 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 da. And once
Yeah.
that goes, it's just peace. So I'm enjoying the peace
Okay.
for now.
So, last thing then, Sal, have you got like a final message for any of those hardcore Jenny fans who've been fighting your corner all these years?
Ah, well, just thank you for the support and thank you for watching. I think the hardcore fans, as you say, and the Conversation Street listeners, and all those people we met in Canada,
Mm.
um, just they are what keep the show going. So thank you for watching and thank you for supporting.
Oh. Well, we are going to miss you so much on the show, Sal. Hopefully, we can still
Oh,
keep in touch. But
yes, we will.
of course, we will. Thank you for coming on the podcast. It's been
You're very
lovely hearing
welcome.
about your memories over the last 4 years and about a bit more of the reasons about your departure. Hopefully, we'll still hear Rita talking about you at least, even if we're not going to see you again.
Who knows?
Who
Who knows?
knows? Right. Well, thank you again so much. It's been lovely
You're
speaking to you.
welcome.
Ta-ra. Bye bye.